That was good.
That was okay.
Yep.
That wasn't bad. But it definitely is a lot less confidence inspiring. For funsies, we'll signal a lane change. It looks, make sure no one's around us, and boom, we got over. No problem.
Yep.
I want to go back. It'll look, no one's around, change lanes. Great. That's fine. It keeps us centered in the lanes. It does a good job around corners on the interstate.
Yep.
Things like that. It has one difficult decision. It makes the wrong choice there, and then everything blows up.
Everything goes downhill after that, yeah. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to TV Geek Studios. As always, he is Sebastian. I am Joel, and today we are joining you from Sebastian's Hyundai Ioniq 5 because we are going to do a little demo drive to show you how comma.ai works. So for those of you who aren't familiar with comma.ai, Sebastian, tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, so comma.ai, or just comma in general, so this is the comma.ai, but there's other models before, like the comma.3x and comma.3 and 2 and 1, but this is the comma.ai, and so it's essentially a platform that runs an open source AI model to handle like lane centering and cruise control and things like that, which we'll talk more about it in a little bit, but I am only using the lane centering component. I'm not doing the cruise control component. We can talk more at just a second about why, but because it's open source, there's 5011 software forks you can choose and whatever. Mm-hmm. And so I'm actually not running the default software, which is OpenPilot. I am running SunnyPilot. And the primary reason I'm doing that is because SunnyPilot lets you separate steering from cruise.
Gotcha.
OpenPilot, you only get steering if cruise control is active. I wanted to be able to have steering but still have manual control over throttle, so I installed SunnyPilot, and that was the primary reason. And there's some other toggles and settings and other things that are in there that we can talk about a little bit. But that's kind of the general rundown of it. And so how it works is we have a whole video on this. If you want to go check it out, I'll have a link in the description where I go through the install. But there's a USB-C cable coming down my windshield. You can see there, and it goes into a harness box up here above the mirror, which ties directly into the car's forward camera so that the comma can talk on the CAN bus and send steering inputs and things like that. And so right now we're just in a parking lot. We're not driving.
That is true.
But I figure what we'll do here is we can go ahead and cut the video. We'll get pulled out of this parking lot, and this will be your first time really seeing kind of how it works.
You've got the experience for about a week now.
Yep.
So yes. So maybe he'll let me get behind the wheel and try it. We'll see. So, all right, we'll check back in a second. All right, we are back, and Sebastian's behind the wheel, of course. Almost out toward our road where we're going to be at, where we're going to kind of turn it on at. So, Sebastian, I know we have a video with the install. Just kind of walk through how quick the install was and things like that. Was it too difficult?
Yeah, I mean, the install could legitimately be like a 10-minute project. Since I recorded the install, I did go ahead and add in the comma power cable, which I didn't do in the video. But again, that was just a run up the A-pillar across and then down to that harness. Easy peasy.
Okay.
But I mean, the install is literally take mirror cover off, plug in camera harness, route cord, mount the device, and you're done.
So it's similar to like almost hooking up like we had a FitCam X or something. For similar to that. Got you. So this is not supposed to be like full self-driving like Tesla.
No.
What is the purpose of comma?
So comma, I mean, they are the first to tell you that this is intended to be a level 2 system.
Okay.
They do not intend for it to be more than the level 2. It is a level 2. Some of that's just hardware limitation. I mean, the only cameras it has are the 2 cameras that look at the road and 1 camera looking at you. It doesn't see down the sides of a car or anything
or out
like
the back or anything like that.
Or out the back or anything like that. Now on select vehicles, this is one of them. It does integrate with like the blind spot monitor sensors, and you'll see it pop up on the screen when we have it activated later. So it can like have an idea of what's beside you, but it's not. There's no camera feed. There's no visual. Like it can't actually see that.
Gotcha.
So this is mainly just it can add adaptive cruise to cars that don't already have it, or enhance adaptive cruise on cars that do already have it, and it can add hands-free lane centering. And the reason it's hands-free is it has this camera that's pointing back at us. And so that's using it for driver monitoring, and you can see it has a little icon on the top left, which it probably won't be very visible on the camera, but Joel, you can see it, and it's got my head with a little green line, and as I turn my head, you should see that green line move. It's keeping track of me, and it is like it's very cool. Like if I am making a right turn, it gives me more leeway to look to the right. If I'm making a left turn and I'm looking to the right, it says, "Hey, you're not paying attention," and will come up and tell me, driver distracted, whatever else. So I alluded to at the beginning that I am only using this for lane centering. And the reason for that is, so the Hyundai, the adaptive cruise is pretty dang good. And so I don't necessarily feel like I need to use the comma for the adaptive cruise. The other reason I'm not using it is in order for the comma to do the adaptive cruise instead of the car, it has to disable the radar on the front. And if it does that, you lose your emergency braking and forward collision warning.
Don't want that to happen.
And so I would like to keep those features enabled, and so I'm not using the adaptive cruise portion on the comma. I'm only using the lane centering, lane steer. But to activate it, I mean, since I am on Sunny Pilot, that means I can do it separate from cruise control. To activate it, I just hit the little steering wheel icon here on the wheel. It dings.
Yep.
And we're good. So you can see.
You're right. It does do that little.
It does a little bit of little popcorn, and then we'll straighten out.
Yep.
But now I am no hands. We're steering. I'm full control of throttle. Joel, you can see on the screen there's like a little ball on the right.
Looks like a little rainbow thing behind us.
So that's setting of Sunny Pilot, but otherwise it would just be green.
Okay.
But there's because the Tesla FSD, right, the Rainbow Road.
Yeah, the Rainbow Road.
But you see that little blue ball on the right.
Yes.
So that is the confidence meter. So right now it's blue because I don't have cruise control active. If I had cruise control active, it turns green. That means it's fully confident in what it's doing. As it gets less confident, the ball falls down and gets closer and closer to red. If that makes sense.
You did mention you are still controlling the throttle.
I am fully on the throttle right now.
Gotcha.
Like I am in control of the speed. It is only doing the steering.
Gotcha.
But just initially, you can tell. I mean, it does a pretty solid job, especially right there because it has lane lines. Now I need to get here. I'm gonna tap the wheel, and it didn't lane change. So it's not perfect.
What if it's seeing the solid white line and didn't want to lane change?
So yeah, so it will do it sometimes, and sometimes it won't. And that is one of the flaws, but you can see there, it did it again. It kind of tried to ping pong on me.
But you said the system is learning the more you drive it.
It does learn and use your data for like training data, things like that. And it's one of those, it has a navigation component to it. So it's supposed to be able to get like road information or whatever from navigation. It does not do end-to-end navigation. So like I can't go into somewhere and put like a GPS destination and it take me there.
You can't put Walmart and it will take you to Walmart.
That is a feature on some forks, but it's not really a very popular one because again, the car can't see around you.
Yeah.
You know, it can't predict like if there's people around you, traffic around you, cars behind you, all that stuff.
It can't predict whether there's a car coming up fast on you to move over.
Right. And so that's not really a core feature set for comma. There are some forks that are trying to develop it. I think Star Pilot is one of them. Mm-hmm. But I'm using Sunny Pilot, and that's not a feature here. And I understand why I'm not mad about it.
So we're back on right now.
We're on. We were on that whole time.
Yep.
And so we're on. I'm going to tap the signal, and we're getting over. And now that we're on the interstate, I'll go ahead and turn on cruise control. You'll see it pop up on the screen, 70 max, because that's what I have it set to.
Yep.
And now...
I did see a notice that popped up whenever you were changing lanes, too.
Yep. And now you see the ball is green instead of blue because we were in full open pilot. So change lanes again, I'll just tap.
It's the steering change lanes, yep.
So I have it set to just a 1 second delay between me putting the blinker on and changing lanes. There is the default is you have to nudge the wheel. And so that's why you see it pop up for a second. It'll say steer left and then start going. It's because if I had it on the nudge mode, then I would have to nudge the wheel to the left.
Now, if it did see a car over there, it wouldn't try to get over.
Right, because it's tied into the blind spot monitor.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so it'll delay and then eventually time out. But you can see we're not ping-ponging on the interstate.
Yep.
Which
is a feature known for the EGMP Hyundai cars.
Yep.
To kind of ping-pong you on the road.
You can see it's actually kind of riding a little farther to the left of the lane versus being dead center like the Hyundai system likes to be.
Yep.
And it will do some in-lane adjustment as well. And because, I mean, this is ultimately just a hands-free, I can also just at any time take the wheel and I can move it myself if I need to.
Yep.
And it just automatically re-engaged. It doesn't make you hit any funky buttons or anything like that.
Yep. Want to give a shout out to one of our viewers, Josh, because Josh actually sent us this to use. He has a comma 3, got a comma 4, sent it to us, said use it, test it, whatever you want to do with it. What's the difference between comma 3 and comma 4?
So the biggest thing on the comma 4, it's the same CPU, same chipset. The main thing is this is like 1/5 the size.
Okay.
The comma 3X is huge. It looks like a small iPad mounted to the windshield.
Oh
almost.
wow, I didn't know that.
And this is more of a traditional dash cam setting, so it's a lot less obtrusive on the view. It's a lot less noticeable from outside of the car for theft or like police reasons.
Yep.
It just looks like a dash cam.
Yep.
But it's the same CPU, the same GPU,
same cameras.
Same cameras. Like the only difference is, I mean, there's a hardware software difference, but like if they run the same models, they do all of that is the same.
Now you have driven with it for a week now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to and from work. You have about 25-minute, 30-minute commute every day. Pros and cons, good, bad, and ugly.
Yeah, so as we've discussed a little bit, and we'll see it more later once we get back off the interstate, It does really well on the interstate. Like, is doing perfectly fine. I'll go ahead and just for funsies, we'll signal a lane change. It looks, make sure no one's around us, and boom, we got over. No problem.
Yep.
I want to go back. It'll look, no one's around, change lanes. Great. That's fine. It keeps us centered in the lanes. It does a good job around corners on the interstate.
Yep.
Things like that. On my commute to work, I'm on a 4-lane highway. I'm not on an interstate, but I am on a highway. And it's pretty curvy or whatever, and it does a pretty solid job on that road too. It's definitely a little shakier there than it is, say, on the interstate, but it does a pretty solid job. I don't feel unsafe. City driving depends.
Where it gets a little wonky.
That's where it gets a little wonky. If you have good, clear lane lines, it usually does a really good job.
Okay.
If you don't have good, clear lane lines, it will sometimes do a really good job, but also sometimes not, and sometimes it doesn't matter. Because, I mean, it will fully try to center and figure out where you are if there are no lane lines. And it does a pretty decent job, like on neighborhood streets and things like that. It seems to do well.
Where there are no,
there's no lines or whatever, it does a good job. It's like, okay, well, I can see the edge of the road is there, so you probably need to be over there.
Yep.
But sometimes it just gets it wrong.
Yep.
And I've noticed, and I don't know if this is a Sunny Pilot thing, Open Pilot, they all do it. When we're on, like, on city streets coming up to, like, stoplights. As we slow down, it'll start to, like, shimmy the wheel like it's putting a bunch of steering input in, but we're not moving, we're not moving very fast, so it doesn't really do anything. And I'm assuming that's just like it stops seeing the lane lines and is trying to figure out where it's supposed to be, and it just can't for some reason. But those are kind of the main things I've noticed. The Sunny Pilot has a feature called Lane Turn Desire, which is supposed to basically, if you have your signal on and you're below a certain, I think it's 20 miles an hour, it's supposed to try to turn you onto the next drivable path. So it's supposed to be for like being able to take city streets and actually do corners or whatever. I don't know if it's a Sunny Pilot thing or if it's each car is slightly different. So like the Hyundai and Kias have a certain amount of torque that the sensors are allowed to apply to the wheel and things like that, whereas other cars get more full control. So I don't know if it's a Hyundai Kia thing, if it's just a Sunny Pilot thing. That feature just straight up did not work for me.
Gotcha.
So I turned it off almost immediately because I would try to make a right turn, 90-degree turn, and it would either try to start turning way too early and then want to smoke the curb, or it would swing and try to turn so wide that I was fully on the other side of the road by the time the corner finished. So I just turned it off. It's whatever.
So is this connected to any like 4G or anything? Could a software update? How does that work?
Yeah, so this does have a cellular connection in it.
Okay.
So right now I'm using commas. So there's a subscription component if you choose to get it called Comma Prime.
Okay.
There's two tiers. There's a $14 a month tier and a $24 a month tier. Part of what you get in Comma Prime is, I showed you on the app earlier how it has like the video clips and I can access it. So if you do the $14 a month plan, it will upload the video clips and allow you to have unlimited storage for a full year. By default, no subscription, you keep your routes on there for 3 days.
Okay.
So then you get a full year at $14 a month. At $24 a month, you get all that and you get a cellular plan.
Okay.
So right now it's connected to cellular because we're not at home. It has a SIM card built in that's using that. You can also 100% bring your own SIM card if you have your own phone plan that you can get for cheaper than $24 a month. You are more than welcome to put your own SIM card in there. Or honestly, I said $24 a month, but if you want the unlimited like storage and things like that, it's only $10. I don't think you're finding a cell plan for $10.
Yeah.
If you're already paying for Comma Prime for the storage and to have your routes, if you want that always on connectivity, I mean, I don't think you're spending less than $10 a month to get that anywhere.
True.
So for me, the price makes sense. Right now it's on a free trial. Since it's not our device, I might not keep it. But since I also went ahead and ran the Comma Power, when I get home, it will automatically connect to Wi-Fi. And then when it's on Wi-Fi at my house, it can download updates, do those uploads to the cloud. So that's why it's a completely optional subscription. Because as long as you're parking somewhere with internet at the end of the day, you can still have it upload all that. The difference is by having cellular, you have connection device all the time. So like I can pull up the app anywhere, even if the car's not at home, and I can access it. And it can do some like downloads and uploads over the cellular connection without me having to be home.
Interesting. So yeah, we've been on the road here. We're driving about 25 minutes down the road from Little Rock to Conway. Gonna do some city driving, loop back around. What is the practical purpose of this? Like, why would someone want this and not just use regular?
So the main thing like here is the Hyundai Kia system is annoying with its hand, like how often it wants you to put your hands on the wheel or prompting you to put your hands on the wheel while you have your hands on the wheel and things like that. This just takes the system that was already okay and just makes it better. You know, I've been able to, this has a lot of the same benefits you get with FSD, right? Well, yes, I still have to navigate with this system.
You still got to work the throttle, all that.
I'm hands-free. It frees up my mind a little. It takes a little bit of that mental load off. The comma-like slogan is to make driving chill, okay? That's incredibly corny, but it's a pretty good description for ultimately what is happening. It takes that little bit of like, you know, mental fatigue, mental load, especially on like a super long trip. And if you're in a car that say has basic lane keep, not even lane centering, if it has the motors in the wheel, you could probably add this. And you should, as long as it's a supported vehicle, which it supports a lot of vehicles. We can talk about that here in a second. And add actual honest-to-God lane centering on a car that doesn't have it. For example, which I'd have to buy the harness for. I'm a little tempted to do it. My wife has her 2019 Chevy Bolt. It has lane keep, but it's the very basic kind where it, you know, if you get to the lane, it will try to pull you back, but it doesn't try that hard. I could take this and add it and add full honest-to-God lane centering to that vehicle that never had lane centering, and I could use it to add adaptive cruise to that car that doesn't have adaptive cruise. And so that's kind of where it really, that's the really thing, is like it has a pretty limited window of vehicles that you can use with it, right? Because you need to have like the forward-facing camera, you know, so that it can have something to interface with and apply certain settings to.
You can't pop this in a 1999 Chevy Cavalier.
But if you think about, I mean, we're kind of in that sweet spot where a lot of cars are lasting longer and things like that. This is just another way to increase the longevity and how long you're willing to live with your vehicle. You know, to be able to add more modern creature comforts without buying a whole new car.
And people don't understand, we are driving EVs. This is an EV channel, but this works with with other cars too.
I mean, there's tons of people that have done content with these, putting them on like $25,000 Corollas. And adding all of this stuff that is not included on those cars. So there is a pretty, you know, there's a lot of cars you can do this on. They say for every car on the website, and I mean, it's because ultimately there's a good chance if you're looking at a car from the last 10 years, there's a good chance it will work on it.
And the only difference is the harness that works with that connection.
But there are some exceptions. So for example, if your car doesn't have a forward camera, it probably won't work. Now there may be some harnesses in other ways, and because it's open source, there might be people that have developed forks to find other ways to do that. You know, there's some cars that I'm sure you could just plug into the OBD port and do all the same communication you need. But, you know, that's kind of the general gist, is it needs to have that forward camera. And one thing that it won't work on, which is becoming more and more frequent, unfortunately, is encrypted CAN bus. So a lot of cars have started to encrypt their encrypt the actual communications that go on for the car's computers. So for example, all of the new Ultium GM stuff, you can't use this on.
It's all encrypted.
Because it's using an encrypted CAN bus, and there's some newer, like I think newer Toyota vehicles that you can't use this on because of the CAN bus, and just kind of things like that. And so if it's encrypted, now that said, I want to say Ford is doing encrypted, and they have figured out and gotten this working on Ford vehicles. Because if there are enough people out there, because it's open source in this community,
they'll hack it.
They will figure out a way to get through it, to intercept what they need to get into the system. And there's like, because open source, again, there's bounty programs or whatever, so if you can get enough people behind it, they'll pay money to people to try to figure this out.
Interesting.
Comma has a whole program. You can just go on their website and buy dev time. Like you can pay, I mean, it's expensive, don't get me wrong.
Like $100 an hour or something like that.
But you can go online and you can say, I want Comma to develop this system for my car that doesn't currently have it.
And someone will pick it up.
And they will do it if you have deep enough pockets.
Interesting.
But yeah, so there are limitations. So it's kind of like most cars within the last, say, 10 years. And unfortunately, as we get further and further forward, more and more new cars aren't supporting it, unless people have figured out a ways around their encrypted CAN.
Gotcha. So when you looked at the website, you said there were several brands it would support.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So like right now, like it supports like the Hyundais and Kias, and there are Chevrolets and Fords and Audi and Volkswagen and Toyota and just all, you know. And their website is really good. It goes in, it can go in, find your brand, find your model. It'll ask you like, you know, the ones like, for example, on Ioniq 5, it's like, do you have HDA2 or HDA1? Do you have X? Do you have Y? To really nail down and figure out the exact harness you need. So, for example, this is a 2023 Ioniq 5 SEO, and the harness is the Hyundai Q harness, which is probably the same harness you would use, but don't quote me on that. But the website does a great job telling you, and then you can go on and see even, it'll tell you like what features it adds and what features it can't add, things like that as well.
Interesting.
Because if I was using one of the things it would add here, if I was using it, if I were to use the cruise control on it instead of the car's cruise control, it would do full stop and go.
Oh, really?
So, you
okay.
know, on our cars, if it comes to a stop after a certain amount of time, you have to kind of hit the accelerator to nudge it to start going again if traffic starts again. Here, it would actually do full stop and go, and you know, it would start going, stop going, and it would allow you to like do things like turn cruise control on below 20 miles an hour, which we currently can't do. I just went through a car wash and haven't taken the little wiper console off.
Must be a fancy car wash where they put the wipers on for you. One of them Tommy car washes.
But anyway, yeah, their website's really good. And the actual setup of the device, you know, once it's hooked up, it's literally, if you just want to use the built-in software, you just swipe install OpenPilot, it reboots, or it downloads it, reboots, and you're done.
So you said you used Sunny Pilot on OpenPilot.
Yep.
And you have not ever experienced OpenPilot yet.
So I used OpenPilot one time.
Okay.
And it did fine.
Okay.
The only reason I switched away from it is I wanted to separate cruise and steering.
There you go.
I wanted to be able to use it without having to use cruise control.
Gotcha. All right, we're going to take a break right here because we're still about 4 or 5 minutes from our exit, and we'll pop back on whenever we get to that exit and kind of let you see what city driving looks like.
Damn.
All right, we are back on city roads. Actually had to let the camera cool off for a bit because it overheated.
Yeah, we lost our GoPro for a minute.
It's only 101 degrees outside, so hopefully we get it to last a little bit longer for us to finish this out. So I noticed, not bad. It had some issues deciding what lane to take when we got off the interstate.
Yeah,
because there was 2 right turn lanes.
This is not really even representative kind of what I want to see for city driving, because we're still pretty clearly, there's a very clear curb.
Yep.
We've got a lane here. This is more highway.
Yep.
But we're no longer on the interstate, though, and you can still see it is, you know, it's operating fine, at least here.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell it has a little bit more adjustment it's doing as we're going, or at least I can tell. You might not have noticed since you're not driving, but I can definitely feel it. But once we get a little further, we'll take a turn and we'll go through some of these more neighborhoody city roads back here and kind of see how it really feels.
Yep.
But
if there is some neighborhoods back here.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
Yep.
But I mean, one nice thing is because it does, you know, it doesn't really care. If I want to make a lane change, even on this road, I just tap the wheel and then or tap the blinker, and it will still do a lane change even, you know, here, not on the interstate.
Yep.
The stock Hyundai system is interstate only.
Yep.
And specifically, it's HDA only, so it has to be on one of the actual like pre-map
like
roads
neighborhood
and
right
things
here.
like
We
that.
can turn back on.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'll start slowing down.
And let everyone know you are working the throttle.
I am doing the throttle. I'll go ahead and turn my signal over here. We'll see if we can come down
that's
here.
a big old dip down there.
That's fine. So now we're on a little bit of a two-lane road. I did some correction. I did take the turn there myself just because I wanted to make sure we got it, you know, got it right. And we're back off. Because, I mean, even then, it's like, even though it's not doing 100% of the driving, if all I have to think about
is turning in here
is
and there,
making right, you know, making 90-degree turns and getting into parking lots, but the car is handling all of it, that to me is still a huge quality of life improvement.
It is true. That is true. And it's, I mean, this is not bad.
Yeah. So this is just a little 2-lane road. I mean, we're still, it's not really complicated. It's still very well marked.
Yep.
But you can see, I mean, we're cresting hills or whatever where it is definitely losing visibility for at least a little bit.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it does well in these situations as well. This is not what I was really looking for as far as neighborhood goes, but it's okay.
This will work.
But this is more representative, kind of like the road up to my house, for example, is
it's
a
very
2-lane
hilly.
highway like this.
Because this is a blind spot we're getting ready
so
to
we're
do.
getting a blind. And if you look at the screen, Joel, you should be able to see that the lines get shorter.
Yep. They did hug, it did hug a lot over here going over there.
And then it reconvened itself, but it didn't jiggle or anything that whole time.
We'll probably take a right up here. Take a right back up through the freeway. Look at that. We don't know where we're going, but we're just learning as we go. So it's the middle road.
And so I'll go ahead and do my signal. It's trying to do a lane change. There's no lane to change. So that's, again, I'll usually just put my hands on the wheel for things like this.
And there's a ditch down there, too, pretty deep. I don't want to
turn.
it. Yep.
And see a minute. Oh.
There you go. It's trying to figure itself out. There you go.
So I let go a little too early there to kind of demonstrate how the turning is at the moment.
Yep.
Not great.
But it's a work in progress.
But now that we're back on just a road,
Yep.
Once we straightened out, we're good. We're golden.
All right. All right, we are back. We thought we'd do a little more city driving. It took us forever to get through that stretch there because it's just so busy. One thing you mentioned, we forgot to mention in the video. How does it work with roundabouts?
Yeah, not very well, or at least not that I've seen so far. So there's a couple areas I've used it in where there have been roundabouts, and I tried. So the very first time I tried, it started to take the roundabout, so it started making the right-hand turn, and then just gave up and just started driving straight, which is not what I wanted to do.
You want to go over the median.
And this morning, actually, I ended up in a roundabout over by Evolve Auto, and it was doing okay, and then it kept trying to leave the roundabout, like at every exit, which is also not what I wanted it to do.
It couldn't detect the lane and what it wanted to do, so understandable.
So it hasn't been great there, but now we're kind of in more stop-and-go city-style driving.
Yep. Red lights, things like that. People turn it here and there.
You can see, like right here, it's doing a pretty well job keeping us centered in the lane because we've got our curb on one side, lane markers on the other. But as we stop and go, you'll see there's a little bit of weird behavior that comes about as you stop. And I don't know if it's a Sunny Pilot thing or if they all do it, to be honest with you. It will, like, popcorn in the lane. Like, let me just go ahead and stop, which I held onto the wheel there.
Yep, that was a quick stop.
That was a pretty quick stop. But I wanted to be able to, as we get going, to see if it popcorns as we get going out of this intersection.
And you got popcorn, the wood just kind of goes vroom, vroom.
Yeah, and it's like, since we're at such a low speed, it's like not causing any major movement on the car.
Yep.
But you can definitely feel that it's doing it.
Yep.
And so, yeah, we'll see if it does it when we get off of this, or it'll do perfectly fine.
And you're just a bull-faced liar.
And no, I mean, legitimately, sometimes it's perfectly fine, sometimes it popcorns, and I have not figured out the rhyme or reason to it.
It didn't do it
so
that
it's
time.
doing it
a little,
yep. But not anything too crazy. That was mainly just it establishing straight, it felt like. But as we get up here, which I'm going to go ahead and get over into this other lane, or let the car do it.
This is where it breaks to go. Two different parts of comma.
What you mean? See, it means city driving again. Lane changes work. Does fine just there. This light changed, so I will not be stopping at it.
Hopefully.
And you see, but it is a lane change with the curve, and we went fully to the other lane.
Yes. It did not even care. It just went to that right lane. Yep.
It just went straight through, and you can see right there, it's doing it a little.
Yep.
But we're taking this corner. It's going for the curb. Oh, it realized that's a curb.
So yeah, I can tell where it gets a little more crazy. No, it's gonna take that curb. It's too sharp.
Too sharp. I took over a little bit there.
Yep. Now we're really doing.
Now we're fully upside down.
Yep. That was good.
That was okay.
Yep.
That wasn't bad. But it definitely is a lot less confidence inspiring.
Doesn't see the cars over there.
And we're coming up on a roundabout.
Oh,
Not planned. Didn't know there was a roundabout over here.
So let's see how this works. There's no cars coming.
You're already a little scared, aren't you?
I am. I'm holding my. It's just gonna go straight. There it goes. We saved the best for last for you. See what happens when you watch our videos the whole way through? You get to see the craziness.
And so, like I said, City Street is questionable.
Yes, especially this is narrow.
Yeah. It's definitely, but then we're good.
Yep.
We're perfectly fine.
Well, he does a little thing.
There, we're popcorning.
Yep. I guess we'll go straight over the tracks.
I don't know if popcorning is the right word to describe this, but that's what
shimmy almost. And
we're turning left apparently.
With no blinker.
No blinker. It just said we're turning left. I was trying to go straight.
All right, we're back. Yeah, this is a very windy, wavy road, too.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I was going for, because I wanted to be able to, because you can tell that is the system's biggest flaw.
You can't turn left from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. here, so I guess we're going straight.
Well, that's fine. I don't need to turn left. I want to go straight. Now, if the car chooses to turn left, though, I guess I can't stop.
If you get pulled over, you say, hey, the car did it. So.
Hey, I hear that works great for the FSD people.
Yeah, let's not hit these people. Go on. There you go. I've never been this part of Conway.
Tycan?
Yep.
But now we're fine.
Now we're fine. And it gets a little wavy up here. Should be
It's going to get a little wavy up here. As I slow down, we'll see if it popcorns any. No?
Nope.
It's fine. So I knew you were looking for your excitement, Joel.
Yes.
Was that the excitement you were looking for?
I was looking for. Now we're waving.
That to me felt very strongly like very early FSD behavior.
Yes, it did.
Like almost exactly to where it just the car like it almost like it has one difficult decision it makes the wrong choice there, and then it just everything blows up.
Everything goes downhill after that. Yeah.
It's
within a period of 30 seconds, our whole life just changed.
it's like oh shoot, oh crap. It's just like, you know, you ever just have those days like one thing goes wrong and then everything else for the rest of the day is bad.
Yep. Just like Alexander had. Yes. Those of you in education.
That
was close.
It got a little close. I was willing to smoke a tire for you guys.
Oh, Lord. Now we're at College Avenue.
So we'll go ahead and turn right. Close campus. No through traffic.
That's St. Joseph's Catholic School, I believe.
Yep. You can see
the wheel is turned to the left.
I have my right blinker on.
The wheel is turned to the left.
So fun.
Interesting turn here.
I'll go ahead and nudge it this way.
And now we're back.
Yep. We're going to go over some railroad tracks, which I have some in my commute, and it does a pretty decent job over it. I mean, I said that, and then it tried to just take me to the curb.
It lost the line back there. I think that's what happened. The line went away.
And so you can see it. There you go, and it just detected lane lines again. But it's a little...
Cool. God, the curb. And now we're going down by the college, just to be interesting.
I'll be honest with you. This is probably the worst I've ever seen it do. Like fully, like this is maybe the worst I've seen.
Really?
Out of it so far.
Out of the city streets.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was very interesting back there.
That was very
None of those streets made any sense.
And now we're into a fairly normal road, and it's
hopefully back to normal.
Hopefully fine for now.
Yep.
And you can see it shows us it sees the edge.
Yep.
It sees the yellow line.
There's CBC over here, Central Baptist College.
Said there's an event today. Honestly, I didn't realize that's where CBC was.
Yep.
I knew it was in Conway. I just didn't know
it's the city of colleges.
I know. I knew it was in Conway. I've just never driven on this side. Yeah, and now we're back to just chill.
Yep.
I feel like I can let my guard down a little bit because we're going.
You weren't lying. When it goes south quick.
It goes south quick.
You want to wrap it up? You want to talk about it anymore?
Yeah, let's wrap it up before we get to this wrap.
Yeah, let's wrap before we get to wrap up so we can save our lives. All right. Thank you all for watching. If you have any listeners out there or viewers that are comma users itself, we'd love to hear your comments with it. Love to hear experiences that you have. But until then, we will see you again in another EV Geek Studio video, podcast, whatever you want to call it these days. So long, everyone.